How we doing today? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm excited, man. I get giddy inside when, every time I get a word or a message to give out. So, hey, without further ado, let's jump into this thing. So, I was in prayer and I heard God say, prophet, glean. Now, if you ever play any sport, whether football, basketball, baseball, track, we take it back to elementary. If you've ever played kickball, the rule is you never want to be the last person picked. Matter of fact, to keep it true with you, you don't even want to be the bottom 4 people to be picked. Why? Don't you want to be at the bottom of it? Anybody who's competitive, even if you're not competitive, you feel some type of way when you are the last of the last people to be picked. You like, dang, out of 20 people out here playing, I'm part of the last 4 that anybody want to pick. I couldn't be within the middle pack, within that 8 to 14 range. So you feel some type of way when you are the bottom, when you amongst the last 4. We feel as if nobody wants to pick us. So why even play? We just leftovers. We scraps on the field just to fill up the roster. Let me tell you something. I feel this thing. Yeah. You couldn't be any further from the truth. The Bible is full of people who are technically leftovers. The Bible is full of people who were not among the first people to be picked. They actually were the last to be picked, or they actually were somewhere off in prison, somewhere off in the field, somewhere where nobody is even thinking about them, even recognizing what it is that God has placed inside of them. Nobody checking for them. The Bible is filled with people like that. If you don't believe me, just look at the story of David and Joseph. Look how they started out. Shall we go? Joseph, amongst all of his brothers, he had the dreams. He'd go tell his father, I had a dream. He'd tell his fathers the dream that he was having, and his brothers felt some type of way. So what they do? They plotted on him. They schemed on him. End up taking his cloak. End up throwing him in the pit, making it seem like he died. Had his brother sold. They sold their brother for some crumbs. They sold him. But what happened? Through everything that Joseph went through, everything that he went through, what happened? The least became first. The first became last. Because if it wasn't for Joseph, his family wouldn't have no money. His family wouldn't be where they were. The world wouldn't have survived that famine. God showed Joseph so much favor that he took him from a foreign land. Took Joseph from his land to a foreign land and made him number 2 in command. He exalted him so high. The king over there said, nobody else is above you besides me. He deferred to Joseph when it came to stuff. He deferred to Joseph. Hey, should we give them food? Hey, what should we do? But wasn't nobody checking for Joseph. His brothers weren't trying to hear what he had to say. But look how God used him. David, little scrawny old David, never been in war. His brothers talking down on him. His dad ain't believe him either. Yet he's the one who slayed Goliath. Slayed Goliath. Try to put a type of uniform on him. That ain't David. Like, this ain't me. All I need is this slingshot, and I'm gonna go out here and slay this giant. Ain't nobody else gonna do it. I'ma do it. David was the one picked out amongst all his brothers. Is there nobody else here that can be anointed as king? He just knew that the brothers in the room was the person God sent him to anoint. Wrong. The last person was David. He was out there in the field with the shepherds, with the sheep. He out there tending to the cattle, to the flock. And it was when he went out and had David brung in that God said, yes, it's David who I want to anoint king. Everybody who was overlooked got promoted to a higher position. What was God saying at that time? He was saying at that time, I'd allowed that hardship to hit you. Why? Because I need you at a specific point in time in life. You are served for a higher purpose. I choose you for a higher purpose. See, we as people, we want to question why. Why did this happen to me? Why did I have to go through this? Why? Quit asking. I'm guilty of that too. I'm not excluding myself, but quit asking. Quit asking why. Just go through whatever it is that you're going through. Why? Because when it's all said and done, when God brings you out on the other side of the tunnel, then and only then will you understand why it is that you had to go through what it is that you had to go through. The Lord sent me to tell anybody who feel like they've been overlooked, who feel like, oh, I done missed my time, I done missed my season. The Lord sent me to tell you that you indeed have not been overlooked. Don't you believe that? Dismiss that. Clear that from your mental. You have not been overlooked. You have not been overlooked. And the Lord will not continue to allow you to feel that way. Slide from the pits of hell. You feel like you overlooked. Stop it. You are exactly where you need to be at this specific time, in this specific place, in this specific season. The ones who feel as if they are in their gleaning season, God says, at the appointed time, you will know. You will know at the appointed time. You will know. Hey, I'm off this thing. Until next time, you know the drill.